Pick up a single teaspoon of healthy forest soil right now. That tiny scoop, less than a teaspoon, contains up to 100 meters of living fungal threads. Not metaphorical threads, actual biological structures, thinner than a human hair, woven through the soil like a circuit board. And right now, at this exact moment, those threads are carrying signals between trees, resources, warnings, maybe even something that looks like memory. Beneath every forest on Earth, from the Amazon to your local park, there is a network so complex, so precisely engineered, that scientists have given it a name, the Wood Wide Web, and it has been running for 400 million years. We were taught that trees compete, that forests are survival of the fittest, every tree fighting for sunlight, water, and soil. That is wrong. Forests are not battlegrounds. They are communities, and the thing connecting them all is something most people have never thought about, a fungus. Today we are going underground. 3 topics, 3 mind-bending discoveries. By the end of this video, you will never look at a forest the same way again. Inside almost every forest on Earth, the roots of trees are connected to fungi. Not dangerous fungi, partner fungi. These microscopic organisms wrap around tree roots and push their thread-like structures, called hyphae, deep into the soil in every direction. Think of hyphae like tiny fiber optic cables carrying the forest's data. Here is the deal these two make. The tree produces sugar through photosynthesis, sunlight turning into food. The fungus cannot do that, so the tree shares up to 30% of the sugar it produces. In return, the fungus pulls in water, phosphorus, and nitrogen from parts of the soil the tree's roots could never physically reach. Phosphorus, a critical nutrient trees need to grow, can be absorbed up to 50% more efficiently when fungi are involved. Trees outsource their nutrient collection to a partner that is far better at the job. But the fungal threads do not just connect one tree to one fungus. They connect multiple trees together. A single fungal network in a Canadian forest has been mapped and found to link hundreds of Douglas fir trees through one continuous underground web. In a landmark 1997 Nature paper, Dr. Suzanne Simard at the University of British Columbia used radioactive carbon isotopes to track resources moving between trees underground. She proved, in measurable scientific terms, that trees were sharing carbon with each other through the fungal network. Not just passively leaking resources, actively transferring them from larger, healthier trees to smaller, stressed seedlings that were struggling to survive. But nutrients are not the only thing moving through those cables. It is 2010, a team of researchers run an experiment. They allow aphids, tiny sap-sucking insects, to attack a broad bean plant. That plant is connected through a mycorrhizal network to several neighboring plants that have no aphids on them at all. Within hours, the neighboring plants, the ones that were never touched, begin producing their own chemical defenses, defensive compounds that repel aphids, as if they already knew the attack was coming. The warning signal had traveled from the attacked plant, through the fungal network and into the neighboring plants. The network had functioned as an alarm system, a biological early warning that allowed plants to prepare for a threat before it arrived. This was published in peer-reviewed research and replicated with multiple plant species. It is not science fiction, it is documented biology. Now here's where it gets even stranger. In 2022, a computer scientist named Dr. Andrew Adamatsky attached tiny electrodes to 4 different species of fungi and monitored their electrical activity every second for 24 hours. He found that fungi produce electrical spikes, bursts of electrical energy, that travel through the mycelium. And when he mathematically analyzed the patterns of those spikes, he found something extraordinary. The patterns statistically resemble the structure of human language. He identified up to 50 distinct electrical spike patterns, what he cautiously calls a fungal vocabulary. He was careful not to overclaim. But the structural parallel between fungal electrical signals and neural firing patterns in animal brains is precise enough that neuroscientists are paying attention. Beneath your feet right now, there may be a communication system so complex it structurally resembles language, and it has been operating for 400 million years, before humans, before dinosaurs, before most complex life on Earth. The forest already had a network. In every forest, there are trees that are older, taller, and more deeply rooted than the rest. And when scientists mapped the Mycorrhizal Network of a Douglas fir forest, they found that those big old trees were the most connected nodes in the entire network, not slightly more connected, dramatically more. Dr. Simard called them hub trees, and in a name that caught the world's attention, mother trees. A single mother tree can be physically connected to hundreds of other trees through the fungal network. And research shows they do something remarkable with those connections. They send resources preferentially to seedlings in need. Healthy, photosynthesis-rich mother trees push carbon and nutrients through the fungal network to young seedlings growing in heavy shade, seedlings that cannot produce enough food on their own. The carbon flows from the tree that has excess to the seedling that has deficit, like a source and a sink, like a parent feeding a child. And research found something else. Seedlings that are genetically related to the mother tree receive more resources than seedlings that are genetic strangers. The network carries not just signals and nutrients, it carries something that resembles recognition. When a mother tree is removed by logging, the hub is gone. The most connected node in the network vanishes. The seedlings connected to it lose their supply line. The network itself destabilizes. Research on forest regeneration shows that forests where mother trees were cleared recover far more slowly and produce weaker, less resilient seedlings than forests where those hub trees were preserved. We built forestry around the idea that trees are independent resources, but the science says they are nodes in a network. Removing the wrong one does not just take a tree. It can collapse a system. Here is what we know. Beneath every forest on Earth, there is a network more ancient than most life, more complex than our fastest computers, and more precisely engineered than anything we have built. Fungi trade nutrients for sugar in an economy that predates money by 400 million years. Trees share resources with their kin through a system of recognition we are only beginning to understand. And electrical signals travel through it all in patterns that structurally resemble language. The forest is not a collection of individual trees fighting to survive. It is one connected system, and the design of that system is extraordinary. The next time you walk into a forest, you are not stepping into a wilderness. You are stepping into a network. And it has been there, running long before any of us arrived. If this changed how you see forests, drop a comment. What did you find most mind-bending? The fungal vocabulary, the mother trees, the warning signals. Subscribe for one new idea every week that will make you see the world differently. See you in the next one.